Welcome to Mr. Sir Sports. We recently hit 1,000 subscribers, so thank all you guys for that. If you want to join the family and be entered to win a MacBook Pro and experience all the NFL news that's important that you need to know, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you're notified when our videos go live. When we hit 10,000 subscribers, we're giving away a MacBook Pro, like I mentioned. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thank you.
The New Orleans Saints quarterback room right now is Tyler Shough, Spencer Rattler, and Jake Haener. It's a very elite QB room, as you can tell by those names. So obviously not very good, but what are your thoughts about that? And obviously Tyler Shough probably getting the start this year after Spencer Rattler didn't really perform with his opportunity last year. How do you think he does?
Yeah, this has got to be the worst quarterback room in NFL history. I mean, no disrespect to any of these guys. I mean, obviously, we all know it's very hard to not only make it to the NFL first, but to be a starting quarterback where, let's be honest, there's only 32 of those jobs a year. So to have one of those jobs is very coveted. But when you look around the league, they're clearly not up to par. And we were, and you alluded to it in the last video, but my first thought when I saw this was it's pretty obvious that they're trying to tank to get Louisiana's own Arch Manning, who, has had so much hype around him, obviously has that name pedigree. And we're going to see what kind of year he has at Texas. He looked really good in glimpses when Ewers was out last year. But I think really it depends on how good of a year he's going to have at Texas. But nonetheless, I mean, I think that's the strategy. The Saints want to have, so a local kid who's going to be a pretty good pro for a long time. And I feel like it's pretty obvious that's what they're doing. So, I mean, I don't want to say they're going to not win any games because that's kind of crazy to say. I know we've only had that twice in the league history, but I can't see them winning more than 5 games, to be honest. Like, that's their absolute ceiling. And not that I gamble, but if you do gamble responsibly, I feel like that if there's a win total at 5, I think the under would be a safe play. So, seeing this quarterback room and the guys who are in it, do you think that this really is a tank for Arch kind of situation?
I definitely do. I think it's very much a tank for Arch situation. I think that the Saints are probably going to be the worst team in the league, and if they're not, I'd be very surprised. I just feel like they're just not very good. Like, it's just that simple. They just don't have that many players. Obviously, they have Kamara and they have Olave, and they have honestly they have some pretty good players, but a lot of their players on defense are getting older. Their defense, honestly, a couple years ago was probably in their prime and probably had a good opportunity to probably be a contending Super Bowl team on defense. But really, a lot of those players that they got, like Tyrann Mathieu and others, are getting a lot older and they're breaking down and probably not going to be as good next year. And honestly, I think if Arch were to go to the Saints, I think that's the perfect situation just because you have a good running back and good receiver and a decent O-line. So I think that'd be a good spot for him. But this year, just looking at their schedule, it's like obviously they're in the NFC South, and they play the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Buccaneers twice. And honestly, I don't see them winning any of those games. And then they play the Cardinals, the 49ers, the Patriots, the Jets, and the Giants. And maybe they sneak out a win versus the Jets at the Giants, but that's no guarantee. And then on the road they play the Bills, the Bears, the Rams, the Dolphins, the Seahawks, and Titans. So maybe they sneak out a win versus the Bears, or maybe sneak out a win versus the Titans or the Seahawks, but like maybe they win 3 games. Maybe they beat the Giants. Maybe they beat the Seahawks. Maybe they beat the Titans. That's it. But I don't see them winning very many games. I just don't. They're just really bad, and I think the tank for Arch begins now.